Okay, so welcome back everybody. You're watching the Premier League Season 3. This is Meet Your Makers vs Virtus Pro. Game 2 in a best of 3 series. Currently, Meet Your Makers are up 1-0 against Virtus Pros. My name is Triumphant Man. I will be casting this match for you, but straight up, MYM banning out that Linnea, the Templar Assassin, and of course, last match they pretty much were carried to victory between. I'm going to say Doom was definitely a big part of it. At the same time, the double hex from Batrider and Winrunner was a very big factor as well. The amount of instantaneous lockdown that they had was extremely effective, and even though we had Lincolns popping up on Virtus Pro's side, it just wasn't enough to keep them in the mix. They do respond with a Darkseer ban, though. In fact, Darkseer was actually being used by Virtus Pro last match. It was allowed to slip through into the picking phase, and, well, MYM, they dealt with it quite easily in the end. Alright then, so second ban here though, Meet Your Makers. What are they going to get rid of? Last match, Shadow Fiend was actually a pretty annoying thing, but also, I've got to say, that is definitely a good ban. The Disruptor. NS was causing all sorts of havoc for them in the early and mid game with those glimpses, dragging people out of position, locking them down with his force field, and then just and then basically allowing his team to eliminate them. So very decent ban as somebody manages to crash and disconnect already on Virtus Pro's side, so it looks like we're going to have a very similar result. Oh my god. Alright, let's hope he gets back in, but straight up, MYM, they decide to pick up the Chen, and now it is Virtus Pro's chance to respond. Now, they do have the Naga Siren available if they want to, and they could immediately respond. They'll follow up with a nice big AoE cluster air. I'm not going to say that here, I'll get in trouble. But they do have the opportunity to pick up a good combo there, but they decided to go with Windrunner, and Crystal Maiden is a hero that we don't get to see as frequently as lately, just because I think she's just sort of being replaced, just falling down the list of things. It's all about the Jakiro now. We saw Jakiro last match. The ice path such the range on it is fantastic. It doesn't take that long to pop out. Sure, it doesn't deal that much damage, but the range to cooldown is also fantastic, as we saw. I think, as Snaking pointed out, it's got like a 23% uptime, which is ridiculously good. And of course, you know, he pushes nicely as well, and he's got a really big AoE DOT as well in the form of Macropie. You get a couple of stuns with that, you can really cause some serious grief for a lot of heroes with that. Now the double pick for Meet Your Makers. What kind of heroes will they pop out here? They've already picked up one of their supports. They have room to grab, well, they have room to grab something else. Here they could get one of their Suicide Souls. Windrunner, though, we saw exactly how powerful she was last match. Tidehunter, though, is the pick. Tidehunter was actually on Virtus Pro's last match. But a nice strong AoE hero. And they go with Leshrac as well, so plenty of AoE firepower here on Meet Your Maker's side, plus also pretty decent push potential as well. Leshrac, obviously, with Edict, and then you throw in Chen as well. Virtus Pro could be in for some, they could be in for some early, having to defend some early pushes. Possibly even lose some really early towers. In fact, Chen, of course, able to go for those 2 to 4 minute towers quite easily, especially when backed up by Leshrac. Now the question is Tidehunter going to be a farming hero, or is he going to be a support hero? Of course, given the farm, he does become a rather difficult bully to deal with on the front lines.
Invoker.
You see the Invoker has been picked up though by Virtus Pros. I'm just going to quickly check something out. I'm just going to talk to the admin in a second. Okay, that's fine. Never mind. As we see, Enigma also being panned out by Meet Your Makers, which is fair enough. You don't really want to go up against Enigma if you don't have to. He farms really well. He controls his lanes, very versatile. On top of that, just the black holes can be absolutely crippling. As we saw during one of those last mid-fights, Enigma got in there with a blink. The BKB set up a crushing black hole, which was followed up by a Macropire from Jakiro. Was utterly painful. I don't think we'll see Jakiro unless Leshrac and Tidehunter are being used as farming heroes. I don't think we'll see a Jakiro from Meet Your Makers. Virtus Pro may possibly decide to pop him out. Crystal Maiden being picked up. Windrunner likely to be taking that Suicide Soul. Invoker probably in the solo mid. Queen of Pain also banned this time around by Virtus Pro. She's definitely a very strong hero, and we saw exactly how painful she was for Batrider to deal with. Unfortunately, fell behind slightly just because of some questionable choices made, just some questionable skirmishes she got involved in, spent too long screwing around. It just gave Batrider a lot of time to catch up in terms of CS as well as levels. The fourth ban, though, for Meet Your Makers. They are getting rid of ban something out there. They might want to get rid. They have the Chen. They might decide to get rid of the Enchantress. Would be a decent ban there if they don't want Chen having to possibly do battle with the Enchantress. She's always annoying when she goes into the enemy jungle, causes all sorts of havoc in there.
5 seconds remaining.
But right now, I think Virtus Pro honestly could do with one of their primary farmers next, so Venture Makers could start banning them out, and there we go, they do decide to get rid of the Lone Druid, and not a bad decision. A Lone Druid and Invoker can cause some pretty painful issues together, especially when they go, Alacrity on the bear is actually really, really annoying. That said, they might have been able to let it go just because they have a very aggressive lineup. They could have afforded to let the Lone Druid go because they have got a very aggressive lineup. They can take towers early and push early and just basically try and end the game pretty early. And just puts on so much pressure that the Lone Druid won't be able to find a lot of room to farm. Virtus Pro though, they get rid of the Doom Ring. I guess they really didn't appreciate that last match. It was causing them some serious grief. I'm just wondering if they all decide to go with the Shadow Fiend pick again. Sand King, though, is going to be banned by Venture Makers. I'm wondering if they might actually even try and get a Broodmother in here as their suicide solo. Definitely a strong possibility. As at the moment, VP, they don't have that much AoE to, well, basically, good spammable AoE to really deal with the Spiralings. Power Shot loses effectiveness from more targets it hits, and it's not that big an AoE. Crystal Man doesn't really want to be blowing Crystal Novas on the Spiralings, plus doesn't do that much damage, and obviously Invoker is busy in the solo mid. I have actually seen Invoker in the side lane versus a Broodmother. It's not pretty. Broodmother just walks all over him. It's not much fun at all. Juggernaut is being banned, though. Venture Makers won't get the chance to get their hands on the Juggernaut, and they will go for the Anti-Mage instead. Mr. No Fun. We'll see what kind of grief he causes them. And now the fourth pick for Virtus Pro. How hard carry will they respond with, if any at all? They might decide to go, you know what, not even bother with it and just go for something. Well, they don't really have the push potential to end early at the moment, so I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. If they want to pick up another support, though, Shadow Demon is available because Shadow Demon does help take out Anti-Mage. It does help control Anti-Mage in the early phases. I see Orange disconnects once again, so it's going to definitely be one of those games. This will be fun.
Reserve time.
So we're going to go into the reserve time here. Actually, both teams haven't used up that much reserve time this time around. They have been relatively quick on the bans and picks. Right now, Virtus Pro are missing a primary farm as well as a support. So, Invoker like to take that solo mid. Windrunner probably in the suicide zone. Depends where Crystal Maiden ends up. They might even do a dual. They could even do a dual mid if they really, really wanted to. It's definitely possible. In fact, I haven't seen a lot of dual mids. We don't get to see a lot of dual mids. It was really popular for a while. The Chinese were using it left, right, and center, and then just sort of, it didn't really come. A lot of teams just sort of stopped doing it. I think it's because one of the problems is you take that dual mid, you really take away the flexibility of that mid hero, so you get around the map and cause a ton of pressure with those runes. Looks like Virtus Pro, hopefully their blue hasn't crashed, but they are taking their time on this fourth pick here, down to 30 seconds in overtime. They are chewing through quite fast. Cool guy, this is a best of 3, and this is game number 2. Now, I was talking about a Broodmother earlier. Venture Makers could definitely slot in a Broodmother quite easily still. They are looking for a suicide solo at the moment. And it will be Faceless Void versus Anti-Mage. Now, they have some nasty spells to go. They have some nasty AoE from Invoker, which could go nicely with Faceless Void. Windrunner and Crystalman don't really do tons for each other, for him there, but they can just look after him. Depending on whether or not Windrunner's... I think Windrunner's definitely going to be the suicide solo. Likely to have another support here. That or a jungler is also possible. They want to weaken the lanes, but they need to be careful because there's a lot of push. They need to be careful about weakening the lanes too much because there's lots of push potential from Venture Makers.
10 seconds remaining.
And if they weaken their lanes too much, they're going to lose a lot of towers. The final pick for Venture Makers, though. We'll see what they decide to go with here. But they do need a hard lane solo for the bottom lane. We'll see what they go with here. No. They've got a few... Whoa. Okay. Somewhat unexpected. Alright. How are they going to run this then? This is possibly going to be Leshrac and Anti-Mage, Bane mid, Tidehunter in the side lane, and then obviously Chen hanging around in the jungle. Alright then, Bane definitely somewhat unexpected. Obviously his CC is quite annoying, quite painful as well. We'll see what they decide to go with here.
10 seconds remaining.
And just the fact that basically if Bane hangs back and Void is trying to lock down someone inside his bubble, Bane can always sleep his ally or sleep Void if necessary.
Reserve
It
time.
can be somewhat annoying to deal with. And also Fiend's Grip is just a really good lockdown spell.
I see
Bane, though,
you with
definitely
Fiend.
unexpected. Nature's Prophet will be picked up. The final pick there for Virtus Pro. Likely to be jungling there. Crystal Maiden going to be backing up Faceless Void. Windrunner, the Suicide Solar, and Invoker taking solo mid. As for Mutual Makers, well, Anti-Mage and Leshrac together. Titan and Suicide Solar. Chen, Jungle, and Bane are going to be taking that solo mid, I think. Then again, it could be Bane supporting Anti-Mage and Leshrac solo mid. And you know what, this gets kind of flexible, so we'll see what it goes down, how it goes down. And definitely, I don't know about this though. Definitely interesting, to say the least. As apparently this is taking its time to figure itself out. Okay, waiting on purple, there we go. Alright, so let's call out the players then. Playing for Virtus Pros on the Radiant side, we have KSI playing Nature's Prophet, Airman playing the Faceless Void, Tame My Wild playing the Invoker, Bandit on the Windrunner, which I believe is Santa, NS playing Crystal Maiden, and for Meet Your Makers we have Calculus playing the Tidehunter, Balsam on the Anti-Mage, Link playing the Bane, Atsi playing the Leshrac, as well as the Nino, or rather the Neno, rather, not the Nino, the Neno playing Chen. And it will be Link solo mid by the looks of things. Meanwhile, we Leshrac backing up the Anti-Mage, and of course Tidehunter taking that Suicide Solo. We'll see how he manages to handle it. Meanwhile, Windrunner Suicide Solo. Looks like Void, it's going to be a dual mid, Void and Crystal Maiden. And then
I'll
Invoker
return the
taking the
favor.
side lane slot. Now, one of the things you can do with Invoker, I was talking about controlling and ganking. One of the things putting Invoker in the side lane does is it allows him to just reach out and touch someone's Sunstroke. So he's not really needed to be, he doesn't need to leave his lane to gank. So he doesn't really need to access those runes that much. He just sits in his lane and fires Sunstrokes around the map. On the other hand, in this case, it frees up Crystal Maiden to go ganking with the runes if necessary. Although it looks like Chen is going to body block her a bit, going to try and beat her to the rune if he can. As Anti-Mage comes down, as it looks like he is going to go and try and cause some trouble. He's body blocked enough. Anti-Mage also body blocking now. Split Earth comes down, lands a Crystal Maiden. She's likely to give away the first blood here. There is no escape. She gets shattered, and that is her first blood to Chen. An upgraded courier in a second, plus some extra wards. It's about the best start you can ask for. First minute rune goes down bottom lane. I think it was possibly denied by a Treant there, as Calculus calls out lol. Now, this will be a bit of a rough lane here for poor old Tidehunter, just because basically Invoker is going to hit like a truck. In a couple of levels, Invoker is really going to sting, especially when Cold Snap pops up.
Denied.
Crystal Maiden needs to be careful. Crystal Maiden, or rather Bane and Crystal Maiden need to be careful here. Probably going to exchange them. His Faceless Void also doesn't have the best of controls, but Link should be okay just because they can't really chase after him. If he's in trouble, he can just throw sleep on one of them and keep them out of his face. And they don't really have the burst nukes to bring him down either. Meanwhile, it looks like they're going to go to town on Windrunner. Windrunner taking a lot of damage. Doesn't quite manage to block off. Split Earth comes down. Just misses. Slight miscalculation there from Atsi.
'Tis mine.
Calculus just trying to leech experience. The mode doesn't really need all that many last hits. Just mostly trying to level. And he will pick up an early level in Kraken Shield just to take up the slack. It looks like they're already asking for a gank on top, with Crystal Maiden saying she can go up there. Possibly trying to warn for Chen. Anti-Mage now just causing some trouble. He has gone for 1 in Blink, 1 in Mana Burn as well. Meanwhile though, Faceless Void is what's Anti-Mage fairly close on us. It looks like Crystal Maiden, is she heading bottom to head out on a gank? It looks like she's going to go and try and gank the bottom lane. Should be able to pull this off. 2-minute rune about to pop up in a few seconds. She is going to try and help take out the Tidehunter. Tidehunter's kind of low here. Crystal Maiden has got both disables available at the moment. Kraken Shoulder may or may not. No, it will not help. I don't think Furion also about to teleport into Calculus. Instant trouble. They do a lot of damage to Gormo, Tame My Wild, but he is getting hit by a Sunstroke, and they take out Tidehunter. A nice little kill there. Meanwhile though, this does lift Faceless Void to the mercy of Bane, and Bane obviously can cause a lot of trouble. There we go, he is indeed maxing out Sap. Brain Sap, which does indeed really hurt, plus the lifesteal is also fantastic. Makes him very hard to basically outplay in the mid lane, just because every time you try and cause some damage, it steals it back, plus hurts you. Health potion being pumped up there, as it looks like they do clean up Windrunner as well. Leshrac just diving in after her. Edict as well, too strong at the moment for her. Crystal Man returning to mid. She does have an invis room, but I don't know if she's going to be able to do that much with it. He's actually maxing up Frostbite first. It looks like they might just gun for this in a second. And it's sitting there. No, they might just try and get him to overextend. There we go. There's that enfeeble there on Faceless Boy, making life very hard for him to last hit when he's only got about 30 so damage. This is going to be very frustrating indeed, just getting harassed there as well. NS though, deciding not to break his invis at the moment. Now it is going to pop out there, decides not to cast any spells. So meanwhile though, it looks like Anti-Mage is causing havoc there for Windrunner. What build is he going for? He's already picked up a Ring of Health. Looks like he is going for stats. Mana Break hasn't bothered with the Spell Shield yet. Doesn't really need to. But he's gone for 1 in Mana Break, 1 in his Blink, and I believe he's picked up a couple in... Yeah, he's picked up 2 levels in stats, looking at his abilities. As there we go, there's the use of sleep there on Crystal Main. The nuke comes in. There's leaf though from Faceless Void. As it looks like they're going to try and clean up Chen though. Chen actually managed to survive. Crystal Main is dead, and Void will need to retreat. Looks like Vayne is going to give chase. Decides no, doesn't have the mana for it. Needs a Soul Ring at the moment, or he might just go straight for his Arcanes in a second. The damage on Calculus manages to Cold Snap, gets purged, but unfortunately Invoker is going to be too quick for him. He's picked up boots. Can't say the same for Tidehunter. Calculus gets cleaned up there. I'm going to say it's lucky that Tidehunter was clashing there with him, because otherwise there would have been a Sunstrike in mid more than likely. He's too busy clashing there with Tidehunter to throw out the Sunstrike in the mid lane. Crystalman back in the mid lane. Void also teleporting out. There's something en route here to Bane. I think it's a bottle. It is a bottle and boots there. And you can expect him to just spam that Brain Sap more and more and more. Actually, he uses a leaf there on Faceless Void to keep him out of his face there. He's going to start bottling up. Actually not opting to Brain Sap. If he starts Brain Sapping Crystalman, she's going to lose health very quickly. Rune does not find anything top. Meanwhile, nothing bottom as well. It looks like Anti-Mage again chasing Windrunner, and it should be actually able to kill her. She's completely out of mana. Though actually decides not to. I think because there was Blink, basically they were pinging that Crystal Maiden's coming from behind. Honestly, they probably could have finished it before she showed up. And now Nature's Prophet also waiting in. Balsam though, just juking through the trees, can just blink away given any notice like that. So it looks like Bane is also moving in, finds nothing though to gank. This is giving a bit of free farm time to the Invoker though. And meanwhile though, CS wise, we're currently sitting on 32 and 5 for the Anti-Mage, 24 and 10 for Invoker, and 23 apiece for Chen as well as Furion. Apparently jungling about equally as fast. Let's check the gold per minute chart. It's currently slightly in favour of the dire side, not by much though, only about 1250. It's very experienced though. It is very, very close, less than 500. And there we go, they've got the Frostbite there on Link. Link now going to get hit by the tumble, because while Furion also moving in, they used to sleep. He's not going to use Brain Sap, decides to Brain Sap, that's a lot of health there, 230 health, and he just doesn't cast it on anybody. Not quite sure where he was going with that, but anyway. I was expecting him to Brain Sap someone, but just didn't. Panic buttons, I guess. Anti-Mage still farming extremely well despite being left alone there. Poor Man Shield definitely making a hell of a difference. Meanwhile on the bottom lane, Calculus, not much he can do here at all. He's currently sitting on 14 and 3, could be a lot worse, but at the same time still not able to get that much power. NS though sitting in the jungle ready to jump out and gank. Only has mana for 1 spell though, and there's the Fiend's Grip, going to use that Frostbite though, cancelling Gush now on the Invoker. He should be able to get away though. Sunstrike coming in, Sunstrike likely to clean him up. It does indeed clean up the Tidehunter. Can he get a revenge kill though? Magic Wand going to be popped there, and now Link is in some trouble. He's going to get Sleep himself, actually keep himself alive, but there we go, Furion using the trance to get it off him. And Link's still running for his life, going to bottle up here. Brain Sap is not going to be ready there unless he manages to get another charge of the bottle off. He's got Brain Sap up now, needs to use it on someone in a second. Going to pop another charge of Brain Sap. There we go, Invoker, no, Cold Snap tries again. Cold Snap prevents him, needs to drop it on somebody. And again, gets taken out before he can Brain Sap anybody. And that, no, it might have just killed Invoker had he managed to get it off in time. Of course, Invoker heals at a very rapid rate there. Thanks to Quas, whatever you want to pronounce it. That said though, top towers are being knocked out by Meteor Makers taking early towers. Of course, Mr. No Fun is all sorts of trouble when given farm from early towers. He's already picked up his power trade. He's going to be picking up that Battle Fury ASAP. Void on the other hand not farming quite as strong, only 30 CS compared to 50 at the 8-minute mark. They should get this tower as well. Crystal Maiden popping down. He needs to be careful though. He gets hit though. Sunstrike coming. Needs to blink. No, he gets taken out. Great gank there. Crystal Maiden cleaning him up. Anti-Mage getting taken out. Nicely played there by Virtus Pros. Calculus taking a ton of damage from that right click there. How much is he hitting for? He's hitting for 120. Basically double damage from so much with the Exhort up. Neno's just farming away. 51, 49 CS, 50 CS in a second. So here a jump there. It's on the mid lanes. He's going to pop his ult. Sunstrike as well, setting up this kill again before Bane can pop a brain sap. Gets gibbed.
Your fate was always crystal clear.
These setups have been quite good indeed. There's a teleport from Prophet. Looks like they're going bottom. There is a kill down there. They take him out. Take out Invoker. Now the counter attack with Calculus. Calculus eating hits there from the tower. Going to juke into the jungle to try and get rid of Aggro. Aggro is going to stick with Anti-Mage though. Anti-Mage now giving chase. Will clean up next to Prophet. There we go. One more right click. Calculus needs to be careful though because Sunstrike is up in a second. Also Crystal Maiden is coming to intercept. Can she get the range? She's got a nice good range on a nuke. Not going to be able to find it though. Calculus up in 5 seconds. My gun for this kill. Well, maybe actually, no. Anti-Mage is quite vulnerable. There's the Frostbite setting it up. Hasn't got mana for another spell, but the Sunstrike is on target. A nice big fat kill from there. Anti-Mage is being kept under check just by Sunstrikes. Very nicely played there by Virtus Pros once again as Chen picks up an illusion. So check overall GPM right now. Still 410. Considering he's been killed twice in the last couple of minutes, so it definitely could have been a lot stronger. Leshrac now being given time to farm, has picked up level 6 Edict. Anti-Mage going for 2 and blink now. As he blinks forward, harasses Windrunner a little bit. And every time Windrunner, you might say, well, Windrunner's got an escape mechanism, but every time she pops that Windrunner to Windrun to dodge damage or get away from the enemy, it's cost 100 mana, so she can't really do a whole lot with it, nor can she spam Power Shot, which kind of leaves her in a rather unenviable position of being underfarmed and underleveled. And Chen seeing it creep up, I think, to just sort of fake him out and, well, entice him to gank it. They're pinging, I think they know it's fake. They hear the Enfeeble once again. They're on the Faceless Void. Still like he's just trying to make life miserable for him. It looks like Calculus has been spotted out, trying to get him behind by the tree puppets. See a whirlwind there from Chen, just causing trouble. Invoker though, thinking about his next target, has also picked up enough for his quarterstaff. Likely to get that in a second. I assume he's building. He's either building towards a Yules. In fact, in this case, it could be a Yules just because we've seen exactly how effective that combo can be. Yules and then just dropping meteors and deafening blast on a target is very, very powerful. At the same time, could also just be a plain old force stuff. Or it could even be being put aside for an Arganims. We'll see. Anti-Mage working steadily towards his Battle Fury. He should have this by about the 14-15 minute mark quite easily. He's only about 600 gold shy. And again, just being left completely unchecked.
Illusion.
Dire's middle tower.
Boy, also picking up a Midas. It's definitely something as a bash based hero he can use. Also the gold increase is also really, really nice. Haste being popped there by
Radiant's bottom tower.
Bane. Can he find a target to gank? I think Void is probably going to be too quick for him. He will actually back up. Plus, backtrack is always a pain in the ass for him. Or he could just let him gank him. Crystal Maiden sending an illusion, causing Bane to back up. Another Enfeeble thrown down to make it life last hitting completely miserable. Invoker is going for forward support. Jalen is going to try and put some pressure on this bottom tower since everybody's leaving me alone. Meanwhile, though, the push is on mid for the Radiant, for the Dire side. They're trying to take out the Radiant first in mid tower. They have lost, the Radiant have lost both of their top towers as well. MYM just trying to take advantage of early tower gold here. So the Gush go down there on Bandit. Split Earth going in as well. Finds no target though. Gonna see, oh, Cactus, who's looking for a Ravage there for just a split second, decided not to go for it though, which was very wise, would not have worked out at all. Meanwhile, Hand of God is available, Shackle finds nothing, and Windrunner does sneak in and deny. Slight victory there, still 1500 gold Radiant advantage, experience-wise, also favouring the Radiant. A good counter push there from Virtus Pro, is going to clean up a couple of their own towers.
Regeneration.
Olsen should have 10 seconds. In 10 seconds he'll have his Battle Fury, and once he gets that, he's going to become very, very dangerous. Plus also the fact that he will farm like crazy. And that's exactly what MYM need at the moment. It's like, okay, so yeah, I'm just going to farm the enemy ancients because I can. Face this void now, going to stop this top push. NS has actually managed to pick up Arcane Boots. Surprisingly enough, has actually had the money for that, oddly enough. Invoker's still trying to clean up enemy ancients. It looks like both teams are sort of involved in a bit of a farm fest here. Titan Hunter. When you start off with a hatchet, this is why I don't bring a hatchet. I think you might actually, that might actually be a new hatchet. I really doubt he brought it out to the lane just because. He wouldn't use it all that much, but at the same time, you've got to remember there is a Furion on the team, so he can actually cut his way free from the Sprout now, which is always useful. Furion, speaking of which, unleashes his Nature's Wrath once again. Shrek also just stealing a few jungle creep. Both teams wondering where the hell the other is gone right now. Anti-Mage, of course, getting picked off once again over there by the Ancients. Shibi1, I don't actually say, but at what cost? I believe that's a breaky CPK thing, not me. I don't think I've ever said it, not even once. Bane, Shackle goes down, doesn't actually find him though, only hitting creep. I think Bane just sat there for a second like, what the hell? How did that miss me? Ravage is ready to go though, and we see there somebody about to clash here. There's Chen chasing off Windrunner, chasing off Windrunner and Crystalman. Crystalman though getting hit there, going to pop her ultimate right now. She feels like she's in trouble. Split Earth will finish her. Crystalman realizing she's in a lot of trouble. Here a Sunstrike, Hand of God getting popped, and it doesn't find anybody. As it looks like they are ready to jump Invoker from behind. Invoker doesn't have Wex, so he does not have Ghost Walk available either. Does have a 4-staff though. Should be able to escape. They don't really, actually no, I take that back. If he gets within range of Bane, Bane has Fiend's Grip up. Bane also has picked up a Staff of Wizardry as well. Leshrac also picking up an Ogre Club, so that he's ready for his BKB. And getting closer and closer to the Battle Fury. You see Void also working on his own Battle Fury, also has got similar items as well. If you check the GPM, you see Void and Anti-Mage fairly close GPMs. Anti-Mage being ganked a couple of times, currently still 423 GPM.
is under attack.
Currently a 5k lead for the Radiant side in terms of gold. This is a 7.5k lead in terms of experience. This is putting MYM on the back foot at the moment. They're not really sure how to handle this. The fast Midas is slowing them down quite a bit. Also Chen as well, rotating around lanes, causing trouble, has been quite painful. Void though is being hit again by that Enfeeble. Will want a BKB fairly soon as well. It's becoming quite annoying for him, I would guess. You see a buckler and a mechanism recipe are done and dusted there. I think it's on Wind. It is on Windrunner. Crystal. Oh, Leshrac getting cleaned up there. Unfortunately for him, Shackle and Frostbite proving too much for him to escape.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
See Calculus though, just going to be doing some neutrals there. Santa now. Just needs the parts for the. Once he gets the parts for the buckler, he'll be set. He'll have his mechanism done. They're not on the career. No, they're not. It's only about 500 away. Move 400 away. Anti-Mage again being given a bit of free farm to get ahead. Void is actually ahead of him in terms of GPM. So Blink Dagger has been purchased up by Tidehunter. He is ready to cause some serious trouble. Can he get in there is a question. Oh, it's another brain sap. Easy kill. Oh, looks like they are going for a bit of a smoke here. Can they find a target? Anti-Mage is a little bit. They can't really run him down at all. As soon as they get within range, just sort of has the ability to blink out.
Under attack.
Looks like M&G is going to have the advantage here up on the top lane. Nobody coming to defend. Actually, yes, they are. They are moving to defend. Ghost walking with that rather smoke walking in. As it looks like they are going to find some trouble. The Void going to time lift away. The question is, can they bring him down? There's the Gush. Beans Grip as well. Void is taking a lot of damage. Split Earth on top of that. And now he's going to charge in there with his ultimate active. And Void, no choice at all. Meanwhile, Furion teleports out. Calculus also teleporting to mid at the moment. Mid tower does get taken out. Tries to Gush down. Not really going to work though. Just trading hits. He's going to get taken back towards the lane. Here a Sunstrike again. Whereas it's Leshrac getting picked off. Shackle shot pinning him. These shackle shots and stuns just combined with Sunstrike, so easy to land. Just clean them up every single time. Anti-Mage though, Battle Fury is done and dust. The question is, how is Void doing? Of course, because Void and Anti-Mage on arrivals here. Void is actually farming stronger. 430 GPM. Dead sure where he is, though. He's in the mid lane just farming newts. They're still farming that. Nothing, no situation change at all. Both teams completely locked in a farm mode right now. Nobody really making a move on anything. I think they're just waiting on the first. Waiting on a couple of items to skip launches. Just waiting a couple of items there. Just waiting on. Well, Tidehunter has picked up a blink, a fairly early blink, 20 minutes in. Considering he had a fairly rough start, that's not too bad at all. He's ready to jump in indeed. As it looks like they're just going to clean up this tower here, nice and easy. And he's 79 CS. I suppose it wasn't too bad for the start he had, but it is definitely not the best of farms. He's somewhat behind.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
He's actually gotten ahead of Razor. He's gotten ahead of Link there playing Bane. Bane, of course, in 2v1 was also a pretty rough lane as well.
Dire's top tower is
See,
under
who is that?
attack.
KSI having to back off. Teleport comes in. Calculus doesn't manage to find anybody to jump on there. Gonna throw a Gush down. They do not manage to get the deny, and the minions manage to clean that up just easy enough. Indeed, Zero is really managing to last hit there. It looks like a possible engagement down the bottom rune here. KSI looking for trouble. Has managed to pick up a Hex right now, so we're going to bring the item tab in a second. Let's see, Virtus KSI went with the Midas as well with his item, with his build as well. And this is probably causing a little bit of a headache for the Nano. Just every time he brings in his creep, they can be Midas down.